Hello and welcome back to another World of Warcraft countdown video. There are plenty of mounts in World of Warcraft with over 400 added since launch. You've probably come across the majority of the mounts in-game, however you may be surprised by how unique and rare some of these are. With all the time I've spent playing WoW, I still come across mounts that I never knew existed. In this video I'm going to go over what I think are the top 10 most unique and rare mounts in World of Warcraft. Number 10. CRUSADER'S White and Black Warhorse. These mounts have been made unavailable as of patch 4.0.3a. Players who have this mount were required to complete an achievement called A Tribute to Immortality, and this was incredibly hard to do unless you were in a serious raiding guild, as it required you to reach a tribute chest with 50 attempts remaining without any of the raid members dying during the boss encounters on 25-man heroic. Once you had completed the achievement, you would be sent a letter by Tyrion Fordring himself with the mount attached. Many paladins and priests dream of having the Crusader mount as it fits perfectly with many of their transmog sets. Number 9. Amani Dragonhawk. Dragonhawk mounts are rare to begin with, but this one is especially unique as a trading card game item. It was made available on 26th of July 2011 as a part of the Twilight of the Dragon expansion. Since the TCG cards were discontinued, the price of the mount has skyrocketed and the supply is incredibly low. On the EU side, this mount hasn't been seen on the auction house since 2015 and is worth at or around $1 million gold. Your best bet to obtain this mount is to purchase it with real money. On eBay it goes for around $150 to $300 US. Number 8. Reins of the Infinite Timereaver. This is one of the more recently added mounts to the game. It was made obtainable in patch 6.2.3 as an extremely low drop chance from time walking dungeon bosses. The exact drop chance of this mount isn't even known yet, but some people suggest it's a 0.01% chance of dropping from each boss. This mount is extremely frustrating to get. You're required to grind through seemingly endless Time Walker dungeons. Some players have reported of attempting over 8,000 boss kills without any luck. Combining an extremely low drop rate as well as a frustratingly long dungeon grind with the fact that it was introduced very recently makes you wonder if this mount even exists. Number 7. Reins of POSEIDUS. As the only aquatic exclusive mount in the game that can be used anywhere, it allows for extra functionality over regular mounts. It increases swim speed by 300% in Vashtir and 60% in any other aquatic environment. Added in patch 4.0.3, a rare mob called POSEIDUS has a guaranteed chance of dropping the mount. Nobody really knows the exact spawn time of the rare mob, but it's believed to be around 72 hours. To this day, this mount is heavily farmed because of its functionality and uniqueness. Unless you're extremely lucky, you'll be expected to camp his spawn area for many hours at a time. The mount was also BOE, so you can sell it on the auction house. It usually goes for about 600,000 to up to $1 million gold on some servers. Number 6. Solar's Spirehawk. The mount has a 0.4% chance of dropping of Rukuma, which is a world boss in the Spires of Iraq. Since it was added recently with patch 6.0.2, not many people have this mount. Farming this mount is also a hassle since it requires you to find a group in order to kill the boss, which makes it too inconvenient for many players. During the Warlords of Draenor beta, the mount had a placeholder model which would look like a white horse before the actual model was implemented. Since the model was created so late in the expansion's development, no other mount or NPCs use the Spirehawk's model, which makes it completely unique. Number 5. Black QIRAJI Battle Tank. As the only legendary mount in the game, it makes this QIRAJI battle tank extremely unique. It was added as a reward from the QIRAJI opening event in patch 1.9. During the 10-hour opening event, the use of the Scepter of the Shifting Sands on the Scarab Dais Gong would reward you with the mount, the Scarab Lord title, and a feat of strength. This mount is now completely unobtainable due to the fact that the gates of QIRAJI are open on all realms, including newly created ones, which players have failed to exploit. Number 4. Swift SHCRESTRIDER. This TCG mount was released with the Throne of the Tides expansion on the 11th of October 2011. Its description reads, a rarity amongst the tall strider breeds of Kalimdor, but easily recognised by its pungent dead seaweed aroma. It is one of the 4 obtainable strider mounts in the game, but with a colour palette similar to the swamp striders found in the Swamp of Sorrows. I have yet to come across one of these in game, as the TCG pack isn't as popular as some of the others. Because of this and the discontinuation of the trading card game, this mount now sells for around $350 to $500 US on eBay. Number 3. Big Blizzard Bear. This mount was received in a goodie bag by Blizzard if you attended the 2008 BlizzCon in Anaheim, California. There were also only 1,300 redemption codes ever printed. This makes this mount extremely rare and valuable. You can still obtain the mount if you're willing to pay enough for it. Right now it's going for around $800 to $1,500 US on eBay. Before all mounts could travel at all speeds, the Big Blizzard Bear's mount speed would automatically scale at level 20 and 40. You could also trade this mount to other characters on your server, as it was an actual item you had to use to mount up instead of a learned mount. This made it essentially account bound before it was a thing. Number 2, Ghastly Charger. Technically not as hard to get as the Spectral Tiger, which can go for thousands of US dollars, this mount represents a much smaller percentage of the player base as a whole. I have personally never seen this mount in game and never really knew it existed until I started learning about mount flipping for gold. It is from the TCG expansion Betrayal of the Guardian, which is made available on the 22nd of February 2013. It probably isn't as popular as the Spectral Tiger due to its aesthetics, as well as the fact that it goes for around the same price as the Tiger in-game. I guess people just like the look of the Tiger over the Charger, but if you want a mount that many players have never seen before, this is probably your best bet. Number 1, Fluorescent Green Mechanostrider. This mount was literally the only one of its kind. It was owned by a player called Nash from the Frostmain EU server. He was accidentally given the mount by a GM after reporting that his Mechanostrider had disappeared during early BC. Nash later in 2014 tried to sell his account with the Mechanostrider on Encore. As the only player with the mount, it was obvious to Blizzard that he did indeed try to sell the account and receive a suspension. Blizzard also removed the mount from his account to assure that would never happen again. Losing his Mechanostrider was probably too much for him to handle, as he hasn't logged into the game since 2015. Thanks for watching this countdown video. Like and favorite if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this from me in the future. And until next time guys, bye!